This is Hayes Q Jones, your DVD and Blu-ray baller on a budget, and this is HQ Videos for you. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're a current subscriber, what's up? You greatly appreciate it. Come on in. You know the routine. Make yourself at home. And this channel is for movie collectors and lovers of all types, sizes, formats. Doesn't matter if your format's 3D, 4K, VHS, Betamax. Doesn't matter if you're genres, horror, sci-fi, documentaries, drama. You guys are all welcome here. And I actually saw this picture that you see right in front of you on Facebook, and I love the picture so much. I had to do a really quick video on an iconic actor who just left the world way too soon. His presence, his voice, just his body of work in the horror genre will never be forgotten. So I just wanted to give you a little quick background on Tony Todd, his life, show you one of my favorite scenes from one of his movies he was in, and show you a few of my favorite movies in my personal collection. So if you're a Tony Todd fan, sit back, relax, have a drink, have a smoke, and I'll catch you on the other end of this video. Anthony Todd, was an American actor. He is best known for playing the titular character in the Candyman film series from 1992 to 2021, and William Bloodworth in the Final Destination franchise from 2000-2005. For the former, he was nominated at the Critics' Choice and Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. Todd's films include Platoon in '86, Night of the Living Dead in 1990, The Crow, 1994, The Rock, 1996, Wishmaster, 1997, Hatchet and Minotaur, both in 2006, The Man from Earth, 2007, Frankenstein, 2015, Death House, 2017, and Hellfest, 2018. On television, he played Kern in Star Trek The Next Generation from 1990 to 1991, and Star Trek Deep Space Nine, 1996, and appeared in the MTV series Scream in 2019. Todd was a prolific voice actor, notably voicing in the Half-Life series of games The Fallen and Michael Bay's Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, 2009, Zoom in The Flash, 2014-2023, Darkseid in the DC animated movie universe, 2015 to 2020, and Venom in the 2023 video game Marvel Spider-Man 2. For the latter, he received a British Academy Games Award nomination. Now, he was born December 4th, 1954 in Washington, D.C., and unfortunately, he just passed recently, November 6, 2024. He was born the son of Avetta Lyons Gaither. He grew up in Hartford, Connecticut, attending local schools, including Hartford Public High School. He was also an alumnus of the Artists Collective Incorporated. Todd attended the University of Connecticut and then went on to study theater at the Tony Award-winning Eugene O'Neill National Actors Theater Institute and the Trinity Repertory Company in Providence, Rhode Island. Tony has one living brother, Isaiah Lyons. We're back at the Black Cave. Back at the Black Cave. We are back at the motherfucking Black Cave. I'm just going to jump into my Tony Todd collection, and I have my CLZ Movies app right here, but as you can see, if you can see, I have 35 movies with Tony Todd. I'm not going to do the whole 35. I'm just going to do my top 5. And a lot of these I didn't realize or I've forgotten that he was in. Like West of Hell, I just did that I think a couple weeks ago. Vanish, I didn't know he was in The Truman Show. Platoon, he must have been really young in Platoon. Prophecy Forsaken, Night Stalkers, the series, Lean on Me. I haven't seen this. I just picked this up. Hellfest. Didn't realize he was in a season of The Flash. Final Destination. He was actually in 3 of those movies. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those movies. Death House, The Crow. I don't remember him in The Crow. Of course, Candyman, The Bird. That's with him and Forrest Whitaker about the jazz musician. Are You Scared 2? 24 great seasons. So just gonna do my top 5 Tony Todd movies. The first one is not necessarily a Tony Todd movie, but he has just a iconic part in this next movie. So give me a moment. My first movie is not necessarily a Tony Todd movie, as I mentioned before, but he has a phenomenal part in here. This is the 1996 action-adventure thriller, The Rock, directed by Michael Bay, produced by Kenny Bates, written by David Weisberg. And it stars Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage, Ed Harris, John Spencer, David Morris, and of course you have Tony Todd with there. He plays Captain Darrow. But if you're one of these few people who have not seen The Rock, shame on you, you need to watch it. But the plot behind this one: a vengeful General Francis X. Hummel seizes control of Alcatraz Island and threatens to launch missiles loaded with deadly chemical weapons into San Francisco. Only a young FBI chemical weapons expert and notorious federal prisoner have the skills to penetrate the impregnable island fortress and take him down. And again, this isn't a Tony Todd movie, but he has a scene with Nicolas Cage. Well, I'll show you the scene. This is the scene.
I think we got started off on the wrong foot. Stand good, Speed, FBI. Let's talk music. Did you like the Elton John song Rocket Man?
I don't like soft-ass shit.
Oh, you know.
And this is my first or 5th pick for Tony Todd, The Rock. And I almost forgot, this is a Hollywood home video release. The Rock. Next, we have a 2012 action crime mystery thriller, Sushi Girl. And I believe I picked this up at Dollar Tree. This is directed by Karen Saxton, produced by Justin Bondurant, written by Destin Pfaff. This stars Neil Fisher, Connery Palm, Tony Todd, Noah Hathaway, Sonny Chiba. He's the martial artist who I'm not a big fan of after watching his movies. Mark Hamill, Michael Quick, and Dave Reynolds. The plot behind this: Fisher spent 6 years in jail, 6 years alone, 6 years keeping his mouth shut about the robbery, about other men involved. The night he's released, the 4 men he protected with silence celebrate his freedom with a congratulatory dinner. The meal is a lavish array of sushi served off the naked body of a beautiful young woman. The Sushi Girl seems catatonic, trained to ignore everything in the room, even if things become dangerous. Sure enough, the 4 unwilling thieves can't help but open up old wounds and attempt to find their missing loot. This is one of those movies that I love. It's not a high-budget movie, but has a great storyline, and the majority of the movie takes place in one room. Movies like Elevator, Hateful Eight, things like that, where you don't have a lot of different actors, you don't have a lot of different scenery, but you're pretty much doing everything in one location. That means you have to have a great story to keep the audience's attention, and Sushi Girl does a great job of that. Tony Todd is fabulous in this. So is actually Mark Hamill. You might know him from Luke Skywalker in Star Wars. But it's just great trying to figure out who was the person that sold everyone else out. And the Sushi Girl, she plays a big part, but not until the end. And this is a magnet release. I don't know if you can still get this at Dollar Tree since they have the same titles now, though. But if you can, definitely pick this up. It's a great kind of a slow burner, suspense, thriller, action film. And of course, it has a great Tony Todd. Sushi Girl. My next pick is not a brain buster. It's the third installment of the Candyman trilogy, Candyman 3, Day of the Dead. This came out in 1999. This was directed by Turi Meyer, produced by Robert Lansing Parker, written by the famous Clive Barker. This stars Donna DeRico, Tony Todd, Alexia Robinson, Leonardo Guerra, Mike Moroff, and Mark Adair Rios. And the plot behind this, you have the Candyman returns to try to convince his female descendant and artist to join him as a legendary figure. To this end, he frames her for a series of hideous murders of her friends and associates so that she has nowhere to go and nowhere to turn to. And this is probably the weakest of the trilogy. There's actually 4 now since they did a remake. This is the slipcover from Vestron. And it's actually a Lionsgate release. You see here I have the Blu-ray from Lionsgate, the DVD from Artisan or Artesian. And for all you who aren't familiar with this channel, I used to have a huge VHS collection. It just got so big it really wasn't feasible to take up that much space. So the ones I didn't keep, I converted to VHS. The ones that I still kept and ripped on the DVD, I kept them for a reason. A lot of times when they're changing rights to labels, they don't transfer some of the extras or some of the trailers. So I keep these for some of the trailers and some of the extras that the VHS might have that the DVD and the Blu-ray did not have though. But this is the 3rd installment, probably the weakest of the Candyman franchise, but still, it's Tony Todd, good stuff. Candyman 3, Day of the Dead. My next Tony Todd movie is Candyman 2. This came out in 1995. This is directed by Bill Condon, produced by Clive Barker, written by Rand Ravitch, stars Tony Todd, Caroline Barclay, Michael Bergeron, Brianna Blanchard, and Russell Buchanan. Plot behind this, Annie, a young school teacher struggling to solve the brutal murder of her father, unwittingly summons the Candyman to New Orleans, where she learns the secret of his power and discovers the link that connects them. And not a bad sequel to the initial one. And this is the Shout Factory release. Again, not a bad sequel. Not quite as good as the first one though, but great follow-up movie. So again, if you haven't seen any of these, definitely check out Candyman 2, Farewell to the Flesh. And of course, I'm sure it's not a huge surprise, my number 1 pick from my man Tony Todd, Candyman. I have the collector's edition. This came out in 1992. This was directed by Bernard Ross, produced and written by Clive Barker. This stars Tony Todd, Virginia Madsen, Xander Berkeley, Cassie Lemons, Vanessa Williams, not the ex-model, but the Vanessa Williams that was in New Jack City, Juwan Guy, Marianne Elliott. Plot behind this, the Candyman, a murder soul with a hook for a hand, is accidentally summoned to reality by the skeptic grad student researching the monster's myth. And this kind of created a whole new horror icon. Dare to put him up there with Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers. What I think would be really cool, and they still can do that even though Tony Todd has passed, is maybe do a crossover where you have the Candyman versus Freddy or Jason, whatever. Though it could be silly though. I think it might be an interesting setup though. But my number 1 pick for my man Tony Todd, Candyman. And here we have my top 5 favorite Tony Todd movies. If you made this far in the video, smash the like. Give me the big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If there's a Tony Todd movie in there that you have that's your favorite, please leave it in the comments. Other than that, may the best of your past be the worst of your future. Everyone, please be safe. Deuces.